Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Still being very inventive with the filming just now because I can't access all my usual equipment. Hope you're all doing well. Now this is a little video. It's part of a recommendation in part because, as you know, I really like the Seams products and there's a new product out, but it ties perfectly with something that I was asked to chat with you about, and it is, again, because at the moment with the isolation and just being extremely careful with our hand hygiene, the issues that we've all got with our dry hands. So I hope everyone is washing their hands correctly and washing your hands as frequently as you need to. At the moment, I'm being so careful. I don't know if you are. I'm guessing that you will because it's not worth the risk of not being extra careful, but you're washing your hands more thoroughly than you've ever washed before. You are really dehydrating them, but you don't care because all you really want to make sure is that you've done everything that you've been asked to do in regards to cleaning your hands. If I have to go out for any shopping, which is minimal, I'm making sure that I bleach the door handles. I'm making sure that if I've washed my hands with a towel but I've been out, that towel is going straight in for washing and replacing it. So you're just being extremely careful, and to be honest, I don't know when this is finished if I'll ever be able to go back to just being more relaxed in your hand washing. I'll probably find that I'll just keep doing that every single day now, and it's just been a complete change of pace. But again, it's a good thing if it means that we're doing everything that we can to protect the key workers, to protect those that we care about, and to make sure that we move through this as quickly and as safely as possible. So the request I had was hand creams and advice for dry hands and dry cuticles. And funnily enough, the next day I had a chat with the lovely people at Seams, and there's a new product out. So they very kindly sent me some of my favourite hand cream. So they've not asked me to talk about this at all. I just happened to mention it was a coincidence. The hand cream, which you know that I love, and this new one, the Silk Touch Hand and Nail Oil, which as you can see has got rosehip oil, blackcurrant seed oil, and peony root extract. So all very nourishing and moisturising. And again, if you like your essential oils and your aromatherapy, you know that you're getting the added boost from that too. So just to show you these products again, in case you're not familiar with the first one, which is the hand cream, I have been going through my Seams like nobody's business, because what's really handy with it is that if I ever use my hand cream and then I go to pick up something, maybe it's an item of clothing, or sometimes if you're in the living room and you go to pick up a cushion to move it out the way and you've got your hand cream on and you leave a lovely oily mark, not ideal. So what I like about the Seams is it's very nourishing, but then it's dry and it absorbs. And there's been once or twice that I've used it and then I have went to move something like the cushion and I've picked it up and then I've thought, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I'm going to leave a greasy mark on it. But because it Seams, I'm fine. And as you know the story, if you've watched the previous videos, created by them because they specifically knew that there was a gap in the market, especially in the industries where you are working with fabrics, where you do actually get drier hands because of the materials you're working with. But not only have you got to moisturise them, you've got to make sure that you don't damage the materials that you're working on. So I always find this really handy. So if anyone doesn't mind about having a product that's not completely fragrance free, it doesn't have a strong fragrance, but if you're looking for something and you're happy with the Seams because it's not going to leave any residue, then I would say definitely go for that. Some of the recommendations were for people that worked in the NHS and they were asking if there was anything that was completely fragrance free. So I've got some ideas for you that I'll speak to you about in a sec. So this is the new hand and nail oil. So our problem at the moment is if you're constantly washing and drying your hands again and again and again, then you might be putting on your moisturiser, you might be doing everything you're meant to do, but especially if it's still cooler at the moment, and it can be a bit cool still here in the UK outside, and then you might have to put on your central heating inside, then we're finding that you still are getting the drier hands. And this is really helpful if you've got the drier cuticles. I'm not too bad, but there are definitely little parts of my cuticles that are a little bit on the dry side. So this came at the perfect time for me. So you can use this morning or evening, or you can get into your habit of maybe giving yourself a 10-minute relaxing hand treatment. And what you can do is either put the dropper straight onto the cuticles, or if you want to use it as more of a full hand treatment, then actually just use it on the palm of your hand and use it that way. But you could, if you really wanted to make it a super luxury treatment, is put the dropper onto each cuticle and just really spend time working on it, completely relaxing into that cuticle, relaxing into the massage, doing your little circular movements, and then allowing it to absorb. Because we've got a little bit of time on our hands, if you're fortunate enough to have it, you could even think about using the cotton gloves. Give yourself a lovely treatment, and then at the end of it, put the gloves on and either leave it overnight or at least for a good hour or two. But I only used one drop on that cuticle, and I've actually got enough here now that I can do them all. But if you want to go super luxury, then you could definitely put a drop on each finger. But what you can do, if you want to use it as a hand treatment, is a couple of drops just in the palm of your hand. And because it's a light oil, but it is an oil, work on those areas that you know are becoming very dehydrated at the moment. So for me, it always tends to be knuckles. For some, it might be, you can see in the wrists. For others, it might be the fingers. Now, I should point out the difference with this oil is that it won't have the instant absorption of the hand cream. So don't use the oil and then presume that you can just pick up fabrics. You've got to remember that it is an oil, so it will behave differently. But again, it's not a greasy oil, it's a nice dry oil. But can you see I've gave myself some erythema there because I've been massaging it. But that's good because that's boosting the circulation, that's not a bad thing. But what a lovely coincidence that I was about to research that video and Seams just so happened to have launched their hand and nail oil. So if anybody is looking for a particular style of product that will suit them for quick absorption, effectiveness and a proven track record, definitely take a look at that. But again, just to confirm, they haven't asked me to talk about it, they just asked if I would like to try a sample. And as always, I'm never disappointed. Now, the second part of this is, I'm going to show you some screenshots of me scrolling for you. It was a request for products that specifically are fragrance-free or suitable for someone that works in the NHS, and you cannot afford to have a product that's too perfumed or takes an absolute age to absorb in. You've got work to do. So funnily enough, again, lots of coincidences this week. Chris on YouTube actually jumped in on that and recommended a product which I then saw in an online recommendation, and it was for the Gold Bond Ultimate Healing Hand Cream. Now I have to be honest with all of these, I'm having to recommend through other people because I cannot get my hands on these at the moment. It's not very easy to order things online. There are a lot of websites that are saying that they're prioritising other products, or I would have to wait for quite a few weeks until it arrived. And I wanted to get this video out for you as soon as possible. So these are other people's recommendations and I'm just going by what they say. But quite a few times Gold Bond has come up. I actually have O'Keeffe's Working Hands Cream. I've got a sample of that. That's a very effective product too. It's very rich and it's almost like a solid cream. You just scrape a little bit off with your finger, and when you start to work it in with the heat of your hands, that changes it into a nice thick hand cream. But it sits solid in the little pot and it's a very thick cream. But once you get that liquid in, it starts working and it doesn't take too long to absorb. So I find the O'Keeffe's a very handy one just to carry in my bag. Gloves in a Bottle shielding lotion. A lot of people have recommended this. So nurses recommend this. As you can see here, if it's eczema prone hands, it can be very effective for that because it's forming a barrier. So gloves in a bottle could be another recommendation. Then you've got your Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion, and you've got your Aesop Resurrection Aromatic Hand Balm. So these are things again that through this particular article, and through some of my other parts of research that I've actually found in several locations that people have said are quite handy. But I have to make it very clear, these are not things that I've personally tried, but if other people are saying that they worked for them and that's what you're looking for, then I would suggest that you can do your own research, but it could be a good place to start if these people say that they're really effective. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you're staying safe and well. That's it, absorbed. It was a matter of, a minute or two? It's absorbed in, hands feel nice and moisturised, cuticles do feel more moisturised. They weren't too bad, but I've definitely had my moments in the past weeks where they just feel as if they're starting to dry out just in the corners. But again, if that's all we've got to concern ourselves with at the moment, then we're doing very well. So everyone take care. If I can do anything for you, any videos that would help you to relax, inform you, support you, I will do my best. Just leave me a comment. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon.